We don't need a lot of protein. We don't need a lot of iron. We don't need heme iron. We don't need this. We don't need that. You don't need to eat dead bodies and secretions of animals. You got it? Hello and welcome to the most peaceful place where the fruiting plants and animals roam free. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of them as they make this piece of haven very enjoyable for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming to Peaceful Village. I'm Michael Anfield. Thank you for joining me. I'm from Peaceful Village, Raw Vegan Healing Community. So today's video is really about hunting. Hunting, and I mean hunting like animals. I don't mean hunting like for mushrooms or hunting for fruits or harvesting different types of fruits. I mean hunting, killing animals. In fact, hunting is really, I really don't like that term. I think it's just killing animals, killing wild animals. And people justify killing animals. And I want to tell you, based on two things, on ethics and environmental issues, what the problems with hunting of animals are. So, let's talk first. And there's also another one, which is the health aspect of things. Now, some people say, hey, I don't like the factory farming. Hey, I don't like grazing of animals because that's not natural. But hunting is natural. You know, I will eat mostly plants, but then on occasion I will hunt an animal, or I will go fishing here and there. But let's talk about the ethics first. So the first thing about any kind of killing is that we are taking away a life. No matter how we see it as conservation or something, we're taking away a life. Nature is the authority on conservation. So if humans just leave the non-human animals alone and nature alone, come on, man. Just leave nature and animals alone and start growing all your damn food. On our perspective, we're saying, hey, we believe, we feel that this species is proliferating too much. So now they need to die in order for the other one to stabilize and this kind of thing. And then in nature, we need a stabilization. So we don't need too many herbivores, but we don't need too little herbivores either. And same thing with carnivorous animals or omnivorous animals. We don't need too many or too little. So we need kind of a balance. And it's true, but the thing is, nature knows how to keep that balance when humans stay away from nature and non-human animals. But the point is, people want to justify continuing to kill animals. And they justify it based on ecological reasons, or basically, oh, I do this because you never know. You may need something from animals, and maybe eating all plant-based doesn't give you every single thing. So when we eat animals once in a while, maybe once a month or a few times every year or something like that, and they make this justification for continuing to kill an animal. So not only are we killing an animal and taking away their life, and some people will say, well, I do my best to take the injured animals, to kill the injured animals, or to go for the injured animals, or to go for the animals that are older, so that they're going to die or something like this, or the ones that are already dead, and then I take their body and I manipulate the body basically under some kind of heat, and then I eat that. So when we take a life, no matter if the animal is old or young or dead or sick or whatever, when we take a life, we are disrupting that life from from their family. So for example, if we kill an animal, we usually don't know if that animal is old, young, sick, or anything like that. Usually we just go out, we take our rifle, we kill the animal, and that's that, you know. But let's say we go for a mother, okay? We kill the mother, and now the baby cannot, if the mother has a baby, cannot fend for him or herself. So now the baby most likely is going to die. So we're not only a mother killer, we're a baby killer. Truly. It's like that. That's just plainly how it is. We're mother killer, we're baby killers. So now we love to kill babies. Yeah, because the baby will die eventually. And sometimes we even kill the baby directly. So we do this, we disrupt the family that really wants to live and to be, just to be, and to fulfill their purpose on this earth. But we destroy their purpose. So that's one thing. Another thing is when we kill an animal, 1, 2, 3, however many animals we kill, we disrupt the balance in the ecosystem. Okay? Now I'm not saying animals that are supposedly attacking us and we need to defend ourselves or defend our dwellings, our homes, our houses. We need to defend ourselves. So if gnats are attacking us, we can go into a tent, or we can go somewhere where there's mosquito nets or things like this. But sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes I'm doing these videos and they attack me. So I need to protect myself. So these kind of things. Or if you're in a forest and somehow by mistake or accidentally we come upon a bear cub. So the bear cub is usually accompanied by his or her mother. So the bear cub will be there. The mother will get angry because the mother doesn't know if you're going to attack or harm the animal. So then the mother will usually have the inclination to try to protect the baby. So then we have to, try to either go away from that situation, from that environment, from the baby and the mother, or if all else fails, we have to protect ourselves physically. So that's another thing. But we're not in that situation nowadays. Here, I don't have to protect myself from anyone. Maybe just the gnats. Sometimes the gnats and the mosquitoes. Hunting is not ethical, okay, by any means. Secondly, environmental. Not environmental either. Just leave nature alone. Animal agriculture in any form, way, or shape, and I'm including hunting of animals in that, because hunting of animals is animal agriculture. No matter what they say, it's part of the whole thing of owning and seeing animals as property, as things to be used. Oh, I can use that animal. I bless the animal. Thank you so much for giving me your flesh, your whatever, blah, 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 blah. If we take animals' milk, if we take animals' eggs, if we take animals' flesh, body, no matter what, we're taking in whatever the animal was feeling, their energy, everything that they have in their flesh, in their secretions. Now, if we want to understand this from a health perspective, the situation is someone goes out, they hunt an animal, and they say, wow, this is so much healthier than buying something that has antibiotics and hormones and whatever, and even the organic stuff is so much healthier because I'm just killing the one animal once in a while, eating chicken or eating a buffalo or eating deer or any of these animals. But let me tell you something. No matter where the animal comes from, if from the store, if the animal is organic, or if the animal is wild, running around in nature, we're taking in the energy of that animal. There's nothing good, truly good, about eating the dead flesh and the secretions of animals. There's nothing that we actually need from these animals. Some people say, well, we need the protein, we need the iron, we need the this, we need that, we need blah, blah, blah. In fact, plants are able to give us all of that in adequate amounts. We don't need a lot of protein. We don't need a lot of iron. We don't need heme iron. We don't need this. We don't need that. Nature gives us everything that we need. Why do we have to kill sentient beings? Makes absolutely no sense. So, before we say we need this and we need that for our health, we need to realize, hey, do we need all the amount of fat? Our bodies are not meant to be living on fat. Our bodies are not meant to be living on fat, on so much fat. Yes, we need some small quantities of fat, but not fat from animals or animal products. We don't need fat from oils, and we definitely don't need fat from nuts. Yes, very, very, very small amounts of nuts and seeds, but we don't need a lot. In fact, maybe just a small handful each week, if that. There's plenty of fat in a variety of plant foods. Even if you're not eating avocados, for example, you're not eating fatty fruits, you will get all the fat that you need. So that's the thing. And when we are eating very whole foods, not anything processed, highly processed, like oils, for example, plant oils, cooking oils, we get all the nutrients that we need for our brains, for our bodies and everything. According to science, we get all the DHA that we need if we don't consume all that garbage from bottles and plastics and packaging, like oils, for example. Oils is the worst. So let's not consume, ingest it through our mouths, oil, because oil is not food, it's junk. It's really junk. If you want to eat oil, and if you really want to eat something that like an oily kind of product, you can open up sometimes a coconut and you can get the oil from the flesh of the coconut. So that is a whole kind of a whole food, but we're not meant to be eating so much fat. So we need to limit our fat intake. So health-wise, animal products of any sort gives you naturally reoccurring hormones. All animal products include hormones, so we're taking in more hormones than we need. In fact, we don't need any hormones. We already produce all the hormones that we need, so we don't need additional hormones from animals. Another thing is we don't need acidity. And when we're taking in animal products of any sort, no matter what kind of animal products it is, when we're taking in animal products, we are ultimately taking in acidity into our bodies. So our bodies become more flooded with acidity. So another thing is we're taking in cholesterol. We don't need cholesterol, additional cholesterol for our bodies. Our bodies make cholesterol. Now all this is scientific nonsense that I don't really care about, but we produce everything that we need from just plants alone. Even if we were to eat, for example, 1 or 2 types of plants throughout a period of time, it would be sufficient as long as we consume a wide variety of food, of plant foods, during the whole entire year, especially most of the food or all of the food being fresh and raw and ripe. So if we have this variety of fresh, raw, and ripe food throughout the year, a variety. I don't mean like it has to be a variety throughout the day or variety even throughout the week, but variety throughout the months and the years. We get enough that we need. So animal products clogs the system. Oils clog the system. Animal products, any kind of animal products clog the system because there's too much fat. Their secretions and their flesh contain too much fat. We're not supposed to be consuming too much fat. According to science, we should be consuming no more than 10 or 15% of our calories from fat. In fact, more than 15% of our calories leads to all kinds of health issues. So we should not be eating more than maximum 10 or 15% at most of our calories coming from fat. You can read 80-10-10 if you really want to learn more about that. But I'm not so much anymore into the science part of it, even though technically I am a scientist because I conduct experiments outside in nature without any machinery. Well, maybe the shovel and some snips, some pruners, or shears, but otherwise, or rake. These justifications is because still people want to consume animals, and they feel that they need to consume animals, and they justify it like they were completely born eating animals. Nobody was born eating animals. We're taught to eat animals and their secretions. We're programmed. We're forced to eat animals and their secretions. Seriously, we are forced. That's the problem. We're forced, and then we believe it's our own choice to eat animals. It's not our own choice. We were forced since birth, basically, to eat animals. Many babies and children are forced infancy formulas instead of giving breast milk. So this kind of thing. Hunting is not the solution. People, get with it. Just eat plants, for my goodness sake, plants and fungi. That's all you need is plants and fungi. You don't need to eat dead bodies and secretions of animals. You got it?
Thank you for coming to Peaceful Village.